My name is Akim Agbaji as usual. Today we are going to discuss real estate scam in Nigeria. We are going to discuss issues related to scam in real estate. This is a time bomb that a lot of subscribers are not really aware of what is actually going on in the real estate sector. As usual, what I do is I teach people real estate investments. I advise people on how to buy, how to sell. I advise them where to buy and where to sell. So these are the things I do mostly in real estate. I've been there in this sector for the last 20 years, and so far so good. What I'm just doing is sharing my experience. So today we are going to be looking at the state of real estate in Nigeria, particularly real estate owners. What are the activities that are actually in the sector now that we feel is not right enough? A lot of subscribers have been cheated. A lot of subscribers have been robbed of their hard-earned money. And a lot of litigations are still going to happen in the next few years, especially using Lagos State as a case study. A lot of subscribers have been misguided in terms of real estate. So we are going to be looking at these issues. Firstly, we look at the genesis of this issue. Years back, like 10, 15, 20 years ago, there was a lot of outcry about how Omonile are scamming people. You can buy land today, you get there in the next 2 months, you find somebody else have erected a structure on it. You pay to them today, tomorrow they deny you that they've never paid you. So a lot of people were actually tired of landowners, most especially in Lagos and some parts of Nigeria. They were actually tired of landowners. A lot of people have been denied the opportunity to build a house in Lagos because of the activities of Omonile. So as a result of this, there was the rise of estate owners. Estates began to rise. There were estates like Casting Gate, Northern Foreshore, and several estates in the Lekki axis. But these are estates that were reputable. These are estates with good title. These are estates that if they tell you pay in 12 months installments, you are rest assured that you are going to get your property, even your house or your land. But after that, there was a very hot demand, especially from Nigerians in diasporas, Nigerians all over the world who cannot actually come home to invest. But because of the activities of these companies, a lot of them were able to invest in the real estate sector. But in the nutshell, what is happening now is what has happened during the Omonile era. Most people are not aware, and if you are listening to this video, if you are listening to this broadcast, I want you to really take it serious. Because if it doesn't happen now, it's going to happen very soon in the future. Most people are riding on a tiger. Most people are just riding, they are sitting on a gunpowder, and very soon the whole thing is going to explode. A lot of estate owners are going to abscond. A lot of estate owners will be jailed. A lot of estate owners will die out of litigation, because what is happening now is going to cause a lot of problem. Now let us analyze these things. Let us actually look at issues that are going to cause problems, and they are actually causing problems. I had an issue with a subscriber of recent, of which she watched one of my broadcasts, and she had to face the estate owner. Before you know it, there was a lot of issues, but we thank God it was actually resolved, because they have to follow what I have said. Now, if you are buying land, if you are buying land within an estate, you have to, the first thing you need to do, like I've said in my previous broadcast, ask them for the title. Ask them for what land title does this land have. A lot of estate owners are just selling land that belongs to the government. So anytime the government is ready to take their land, there's going to be a lot of outcry. And that is why you see in some cases, they will say government have come to abolish, to destroy their homes, to destroy their apartments, because we fail to ask the right question when we are supposed to ask. Now you are buying land within an estate. The only thing it does for you, he has done a 3D video of that estate that they have not built. They have done a 3D video of about 10-story skyscraper. They've done a lot of green places, swimming pool and everything. You are just seeing all those things on 3D. How are you sure those things are going to happen in reality? So you need to ask questions. You need to ask, the first thing you need to ask them is, what documents do you have? How many of you have asked estate owners what are the documents you have before you buy? How many of you have consulted your surveyor to go and verify the land for you before you pay for an estate owner? Very few of you. How many of you have actually given that responsibility to your lawyer and say, okay, this is my lawyer, I want to buy a land from so and so estate at Lekki. Go and help me do verification. You pay the lawyer fees to do the investigation, because a lot of people are penny wise and pounds foolish. These little fees that you are going to pay a lawyer, the little fees that you are going to pay a surveyor, you have actually you think you are saving money. You just paid into their account and they start giving you some papers you never verify. A lot of people are going to cry, I am telling you. And that is why I am doing this video, because you need to listen very well. If you have actually paid to them, go and ask them these questions. What title do you have for this land? Now let us look at the titles that a land can have. The first one is a CFO, a certificate of occupancy. In most cases in Lagos, you have a certificate of occupancy. In some cases, they call it different names, registration of occupancy, and so many things. Now, these are genuine papers that you can rely on when you are buying a property. The first one, look for a certificate of occupancy. Make sure the land has been given a title by the government. So in these instances now, if you are buying a land that has a certificate of occupancy, you should be rest assured. Though I will still tell you certain things that are actually happening that you don't know. You also look for a land that has a governor consent, an estate that says they have a governor consent. Take it to your lawyer, let the lawyer verify the CFO or the governor consent. And at the same time, some estates also have what we call land allocations. That is allocation from government. Government will use their discretion to say, okay, I'm giving so and so company 500 plots of land to use it to establish an estate. That is a direct. Those kind of people did not actually buy from landowners. They did not buy from Omonile. They actually bought directly from the government. Don't forget that what the Land Use Act says is that every land in Nigeria, in all parts of Nigeria, belongs to the government. So that's the fact. So if there are some people that are actually buying directly from the government. So at the same time, now apart from this CFO, governor consent, allocation paper, and whatever name they call it in different states, you also have what we call an excision. An excision is a document that is given by a land, a clarification that is given to a land, given to a community or to a group of people, and say, look, we have excised this land for you. Now you can use it to your own advantage. You can use it for whatever you want. So those kind of places you can also buy. We have two types of excision. There are some excisions that have not been published, especially in Lagos State. There's all excision. All you need to do is tell your surveyor to go to the estate. He will take what we call a coordinate, the geographical mathematics calculation of that place. They will take it to Alausa, they will chart it for you and see if the land is truly in an excision. And Alausa will give you a report to that effect. The government will give you a report to that effect that this land is free, you can buy. But we also have some excision that we call a gazette. These are published excision. These are the excision that have been gazetted by the government. In those type of excision, they have a number, they have a file number, they have a volume number, they have a year number. There are a lot of things you can see within them. All you need to do, if you need to contract, don't buy a land without a surveyor. That's just the fact of the matter. Don't buy a land without your surveyor giving you a go-ahead. And don't buy a land without your lawyer giving you a go-ahead on this land. Now, like I've said earlier, you need to transfer your liability to your lawyer and to your surveyor. If your lawyer leads you astray, if your surveyor also leads you astray, you have a land to sue them. You have a right to blame them. You have every right to take to take a reimbursement for the two of them because they have led you to the wrong direction. And I'm very sure a professional lawyer would know what exactly he needs to do. A professional lawyer who also has a lot of knowledge in property will also know what to do. Now, I've told you earlier, we have different type of lawyer. We have property lawyer, we have marine lawyers, we have human rights lawyers, and so on. Look, make sure your lawyer is a real estate lawyer. Is a lawyer that has a lot of experience in real estate transaction. Don't just say because he's wearing a gown, you just call him, you went to his office and say, let me verify the land. Not all lawyers are good enough to verify. I've seen so many lawyers. They come around, they spoil transaction, they come around, they don't even know what to ask for. We have to start training them and tell them what to do. So all you need to do, make sure you work along with a good estate agent. A good estate agent, a good surveyor, and a good lawyer will make sure your investment is safe. So these are the things you need to do. Like I said, there are excisions that are not published, there are excisions that are published. Those ones are called gazette. The ones that are not published are just excisions. These two are also good. Now, there are also land that a lot of people are buying now. They will give you a file number, KL 91177 something. They'll say excision in progress. My sister, my brother, you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very, very, very careful because these are the major categories of estate owners that are so numerous and the public are just buying. That is real scam, I am telling you. Because you cannot sell what you don't have. If you say you are processing an excision of about 500 plots and you have sold all the 500 plots, at the end of the day, government now says what we can give you out of this 500 plots is only 100 plots. The other 400 belong to us. Who is going to return money to the subscribers? That is where a lot of estate owners will run away. If you apply for a CFO for 500 plots and government says the only thing we can give you is just 200 plots, the 300 plots belongs to the federal government of Nigeria and you have sold all the plots. These are what they are doing. They will sell all the plots. At the end of the day, they will tell you, we want to transfer you to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. All these places are swamps. All these places are jungles that in fact, in the next 20 years, they will still remain the way they are. So you just have to be careful. Now, the issue on ground now is, if a land does not have a CFO, it does not have a governor consent, it does not have an excision, it does not have an excision block, and it does not have a gazette, you just have to be very careful. If they say a land has an excision block, it means the land is going to be eventually very free if you apply for an excision, if you apply for a governor consent, if you apply for a CFO on that places where we have a block excision. These places are still very safe, but a lot of people, a lot of professionals, in fact, a lot of professionals don't know that these places are free. So all you need to do, work with a very good surveyor. This one is very, very important. A surveyor will give you a better details, and there is no how you can know a better details until you go to the surveyor general office. They will give you a report to that effect. Your surveyor can give you a preliminary report to that effect. If your surveyor gives you a preliminary report to that effect that you should go ahead, tell him to go and take an official go ahead from Alausa that I should buy this land. Just do that. They know what I'm talking about. So in the future, you have something that you can hold on. Even if governments come back tomorrow and say, look, this is our land, and the state governor say this is our land, you can easily present that paper and say, this is what I collected from Alausa through so and so person. And these are the names of the people that signed it, and they are the ones that give me a go ahead to buy the land. Now, in a nutshell, to save a lot of time, what we are now looking at is, if you want to buy a land in an estate, if you are buying land in an estate, you have to be very, very careful because a lot of scams are emerging. A lot of people are going to lose their land. A lot of estate owners are going to run away. A lot of things are going to happen. Now, you bought a land within an estate, and the estate owner does not have the power to transfer title to you. He has given you a contract of sales. He have given you allocation paper. He have given you offer to sell. He have given you a receipt. Now, they need to give you a deed of assignment. How many of you have a deed of assignment to those lands that you have bought in an estate? The only reliable document to a land is a deed of assignment. A deed of assignment will explicitly explain the root of the land, the history of the land, the owner of the land, how much you bought the land, the family that owns the land, and the title that the land has. How many of you, apart from your contract of sale that you have bought within an estate, do you have a deed of assignment? If you don't have a deed of assignment, now you need to run. To take your phone right now, make a phone call and tell the estate owner you need a deed of assignment. If the estate owner does not have a CFO, you need to listen to this aspect. If an estate owner, again I say it, if an estate owner gives you a CFO, he has a CFO and the CFO is not in his name, he does not have a right to issue you a deed of assignment. The people that can give you a deed of assignment, he can prepare the deed of assignment, but he cannot sign the deed of assignment because he does not have the power to transfer. Because he doesn't have the power to transfer. The only people that have the power to transfer is if you have a CFO and the CFO is in your name and you signed for the CFO. If you sell to another person and the person did not ratify his documents and it still remains in your name, if that person resell the land, the first person that has the CFO is still the person that was signed for the deed of assignment. So a lot of you are buying land from estate owners. In a nutshell, you don't have a land. That's just the truth of the matter. The estate owner that sold the land for you does not have a CFO in his name. He does not have a governor consent in his name. He does not have an accession in his name. He does not have the gazette in his name. And he's selling land to you. He doesn't have any power to transfer the land title to you. The person that has the power to transfer the land title to you is the person that owns that CFO, that the CFO was issued in his name. The company that the governor consent was issued in his name. The community that the gazette and the accession were issued in his name. Those family members are the ones that can transfer title to you. Don't be scammed. Because if they give you, if you are given a contract of sale, you cannot take it to any government ministry and get a CFO with that document. It is not recognized. If you have a contract of sales and you take it to a government establishment to get a governor consent, it is not reliable. The only document that is acceptable is a deed of assignment, duly signed by the people or the person or the government that or the company that is issued that CFO or that governor consent. So you just need to be careful. This is where the scam really is. Someone sold a land to you, he gave you all documents, and he told you that the documents is still, the gazette is under processing. It doesn't have any land. That's just the truth of the matter. It doesn't, that land is not even 50-50, it's 20-80. Government can even refuse the application for an accession and say, look, the 500 acres or the 500 plot that you apply for, we are not granting you because we want to use the land. And he has collected money from you. So where will you go? How will you get your money? Anyway, most of them will run away and it will be very difficult for you to trace them. So right now, start calling them. Tell them you need a deed of assignment and they should take you to the family that owns the land. They can't sign a deed of assignment for you. They don't have any title. Even if a company, if the estate land has a CFO, and the CFO is not in the name of that company, they can't sign a deed of assignment for you. They have to take the deed of assignment back to that person that sold that land for them. He is the person that will sign for them. Now, the fact remains, the person that will sign may demand for a token. Don't be so stingy not to give them, because it's going to save you a lot of millions in the future. If the landowner says, go and bring money for me before I can sign, please give it to them. You can only pay it once. Give it to them and collect your title. So, receipt, you need a receipt. The estate owners will give you a receipt. It will give you a contract of sales. It will give you an offer letter. It will give you an allocation. Then, these estate owners will now take you to the person that they actually bought the land for. Then it is the person that will now sign the deed of assignment for you. Now, this aspect has been shrouded in mystery. A lot of people don't know, and all the documents in your hand cannot even hold water in the law court, because in the first place, nobody signs a deed of assignment for you, and it means you don't have any land. So most people who have bought land in an estate, you don't have a land. You only have papers. If the estate owner disappears, there's nothing you can do. You can't even go to that land, because they will chase you away. Because those who own the land don't know you. They never took your documents to their place. They never recognize you. And the land you have built on is even a government land. So what do you want to do? If they say a land is a committed land, it means the land belongs to the government. And those of you who are buying land that the accession is in progress, you are just buying land, you are buying government land from the wrong set of people. These are government land. The accession can be denied. 100 plots, they may even give out of 500 plots, the government can even give them accession for just 100. Out of 500 plots, the government can even give them an accession for just 100 plots. There's nothing you can do. That's the government land. And if you don't have a deed of assignment, you cannot process a governor consent. If, on the other hand, you have fallen to this trap, collect your deed of assignment, then go back to the Ministry of Lands. Go back to your government establishments and tell them you want to do a ratification for that land, and see if you are going to be lucky. They will tell you, yeah, they can do ratification for you. Then you pay some amount to government. That means you are just buying the land from government. The one you first paid to those estate owners is Sarah. So it means you have to rebuy the land from government. Government will not charge you because the land is their own. They will not charge you. They will do ratification for you. Then they will not give you a CFO, a governor consent. Then you cannot process it. So these are the tricks. Please don't lose your money. Especially my brothers and my sisters in diaspora. You have worked so hard over there. You know what it means. You've stayed abroad for about 15, 20 years. You've worked hard. You sent your millions back home. Then somebody sold a bad land to you. It's just unfortunate. You need to shine your eyes. You need to open your eyes. You need to get information. Information is very, very important. Information is very, very paramount. Get information before you buy. Consult a surveyor. Before you buy, consult a lawyer. Don't just send money to these people to transfer. All this allocation paper they are giving you, all this contract of sales they are giving you, all the receipt they are giving you, these are not the real land title. The real land title is a deed of assignment, and none of you, and only very few of you, have this deed of assignment. Check the documents they have given you. Is there any deed of assignment there? If it's not there, you don't have any land. So fight for a deed of assignment today. Remember, if they don't have the root title, which is the CFO, the governor consent the CFO in the name of their company, they cannot sign a deed of assignment for you. Don't forget, they may want to sign this deed of assignment for you. But if the root title is not in their company name, is not in that individual name that sold the land for you, then they cannot sign it. The original people that sold the land for them are those people that are recognized by the law to transfer that title. So please, and please, and please, those of you in Nigeria, those of you in the diaspora, we are not doing this to witch hunt any estate owners, because I've received so many calls from estate owners that I'm witch hunting them, that I am witch hunting them. I am spoiling business for them. No, that's not the case. If you have sold land for people, just make sure you give them the right title. That's what we are saying. You are not even going to pay for them to sign. You can still charge them extra cost for them to sign a deed of assignment. So we are not witch hunting. All we just need to do is we need to protect our subscribers. This is very, very important. And I'm sharing this experience to all of you because we need to stay safe. You can subscribe to me, Akim Agbaje, complete blog on YouTube. My details are there. If there are questions you need to ask, please don't hesitate to call me. If there are certain things that are not clear, please don't hesitate to email me. You can always email me. I am always there to answer your questions. I remain your host, Akim Agbaje.